So welcome everyone back to the really miserable podcast where we cover the Tour de France. And we missed yesterday, but we're going to cover the time trial as well today, which was a stage in the history of stages. Let's just say that.
Yeah, one of our hosts is really miserable. I'll say that.
No, I don't think so.
One of our hosts was very much enjoying the other host being really miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, time trial day. We are in Caen, and it's about time we spoke about it. It's 32 kilometers. Should be 33. Well, should not be that heavy in terms of the Tour de France. It will be a stage that will be remembered for GC gaps, but perhaps the gaps weren't supposed to be this big.
No.
I'll start off with the early leaders though, because I think it's fine to give them a shout out. Yvan Romeo was the early pace setter, and in the end, Lukas Plays was the next rider to set a competitive time. He was pretty interesting because he went through the first two King of the Mountains. Oh my god. I am so washed. He went through the first two time checks ahead of Yvan Romeo, and eventually I think ahead of everybody else, but blew up badly towards the line and finished 15 seconds behind the Spaniard on Movistar. Then Edoardo Affini smashes Romeo's time by about 30 seconds, and Bruno Armirail 2 seconds behind Edoardo Affini after pulling it back right near to the end. But Affini was in the hot seat as all of the GC contenders set off.
Indeed.
And over to you, Lucas, because your boy set off third.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as soon as I saw Remco start, I was like, wait, he's not going that fast, right? And then we saw the time, like, he's first time check, it's okay. He's like, there's room for improvement. I can see Jonas getting a similar time. And then I saw Vingegaard's time. And then I saw, well, there's that was some, that's a faulty equipment, they mistimed the time. They didn't do that. And it was just on a downslope from there, more and more miserable. You could see everything going up and everything going down. Especially a lot of red surrounding Jonas Vingegaard in time. And yeah, I'm still depressed.
Yeah, it wasn't a fantastic result from Jonas Vingegaard. I'll get it out the way. 1 minute 21 behind our eventual stage winner, which was Remco Evenepoel, who clawed it back across the time trial. Apparently the winds were higher towards the end of the stage, so that was why the first two time checks were not as good, and the second two time checks, Remco just absolutely blitzed Lukas Plays. Because it was a tailwind, I think, in the second half and a headwind in the first half. So that was why Evenepoel smashed the time of Lukas Plays. He put 1 minute 17 into Plays, and 35 seconds into Armirail, 33 into Affini. But Jonas Vingegaard, 13th overall, 1 minute 21 down. That is behind Primož Roglic.
Jorgensen Castrillo, who he was on my team this entire time. I took him off for this stage. This was the first stage I took him off, and he gets his first points. I'm pissed. Fuming.
And he would back it up on the next stage, but I don't think he got too many on the today's stage as we're recording this.
No.
Either way, Tadej Pogacar sets off, and immediately I'm looking at him and going, that looks like a guy who's not locked in. And whenever he looks like he's not locked in, he does well. That's the way Tadej Pogacar works. At the Dauphiné, he looked like he was ready to smash and then got smashed. But do you think he was tanking in the Dauphiné?
No. I think he seemed generally upset afterwards and angry. So who knows if it was something with the bike or something else. I don't think he was doing it on purpose, though. I don't feel that's the type of guy he is. I don't think he cares if people see how strong he is, honestly.
Yeah, he's the type of guy that wants to win everything. And he didn't win today, but he was within 16 seconds of Remco Evenepoel at the final time check finish line in Caen.
Yep.
And that moved him into the yellow jersey because Mathieu Van Der Poel set off and set what I'd call a competitive time, but not anything out of the ordinary, really. 1 minute 44 down on Remco Evenepoel, and that meant he dropped to 6th overall, 1 minute 28 behind the new leader, which was Tadej Pogacar. But Jonas Vingegaard really was the story of the day. 1 minute 13 down. How do you diagnose it? Now that you've slept on it, now that you have had a day to think, what are your emotions?
I diagnose it as psychosis. I don't believe my eyes. No. Well, he said himself he just didn't have good legs. Like, he just set off and he just didn't feel it. So, I mean, fair enough, I guess. Apparently everything looked normal before it started. You can never trust what they say, of course, because they will lie just, to not tell the truth. That's how lying works. Of course, they won't tell the truth, even if he wasn't feeling great before the race. I don't think they would have said anything. So, we can hope it's just that one day, a -2 fitness on the day. And hopefully he'll still be competitive for the jersey, I guess.
Well, Visma in general had a pretty bad time trial. Like, apart from Affini, Jorgensen did really badly. And again, he said he did good numbers, but just did not have the time or didn't feel like he was going fast. He finished behind Joao Almeida. Admittedly, it's only 5 seconds, but that's another little mini win, I guess, for UAE team Emirates. Getting their second GC guy closer.
Yep.
So yeah, he moved up to 7th overall on 1 minute 53. But I feel like we are doing a disservice to a certain Frenchman. Oh, yeah. And it's not Bruno Amirai, because I'm sure you're going to go on about him being in your fantasy team.
Yes.
Kevin Vauquelin, Arkea B&B Hotels, and actually the man below him as well, but mainly Kevin Vauquelin, 49 seconds down on Remco Evenepoel, but beating Vingegaard, beating Jorgensen, beating Almeida, all of these guys who I would have thought would have put in a better time than the man from Arkea.
Very impressive. I did not see anything like this coming whatsoever, like before the tour. I just barely knew his name, honestly. So to see it happen is crazy to me.
What do you think his ceiling could be? It's dangerous to ask that about a French rider.
Yeah. Yes. Let me just look at his age. He's pretty young, right? He's very young, if I'm not mistaken. He's my 24. Age. He's like a couple of days younger than me. Oh my god. Well, that makes me feel even worse. Anyways. I mean, with what he showed here, once again, it's so difficult because sometimes riders, they just disappear out of nowhere. But if he keeps going at this rate, that could be a very high ceiling, I must admit. Very high ceiling.
Well, and it puts himself in a prime position to be very good in the GC. I mean, at this point, he'd moved up to 3rd, and he was one of 3 riders within a minute of Tadej. So, massive performance from him. And also, slightly under the radar, big performance from Florian Lipovic, beating Primoz Roglic, his teammate, by just over 20 seconds. So, is there a little bit of movement at Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe? Lipovic says no, but do you believe him?
I mean, Roglic has said he doesn't care about Tadej, I guess, anything go like in terms of winning the yellow jersey. But is he going for 3rd? Has he mentioned that, or does he not care about Remco either?
He said, I think there was a good interview with Luke Plapp. I assume you've heard this Twitter clip on a podcast where Plapp basically says he was chatting to Roglic in the peloton, and Roglic was saying that he, quote, couldn't give a fuck about Pogacar and Vingegaard. So he then went and asked the fellow Australian on the team, Lawrence Pithy, who said, it's true, Roglic couldn't give a fuck about those two. So by the sounds of it, I think he's going for 3rd place, and he's only looking at Remco and the rest of the guys and kind of riding his own race.
That's so valid, man. It's so valid as well. You just see some like, I cannot be asked, bro. They're not human at this point. Like, there's no point.
Yeah, it's those two, then the level below, and then a level below that, and then Remco and Roglic. In terms of GC riders. Although, with the Vingegaard performance,
wait for the mountains,
is he slipping down the ladder?
No. For the mountains, he'll be in a great 2nd place, only 6 minutes behind Tadej, I believe.
But with the second place on the stage, Tadej Pogacar moved into the lead of the points jersey and into the lead, and already held the lead really, of the King of the Mountains jersey. So Pogacar then becomes the first rider since Eddie Merckx in 1970 to wear the yellow jersey, the green jersey, and the polka dot jersey at the Tour de France at the same time.
Damn.
So it's been a long, long time since anyone, 55 years, I believe.
Oh, wow.
If the maths is correct, since anybody's done that kind of thing. So Pogacar once again just making history, as he always does.
And next stage, he's washed. He loses every single one of them. He's washed, I'm telling you. Definitely wasn't on purpose. No.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk ahead of stage 6, which heads into Normandy, 201.5 kilometres, the stage in length. But the talk all over the peloton was Pogacar's giving away this jersey. And it's an important day for the breakaway. And then the actual breakaway battle started. Oh my word.
Oh, wow.
But not before you had the intermediate sprint. I think what helped this breakaway battle was that Roel van Sint Maartensdijk did one attack with Anthony Turgis in the wheel and then looked behind and went, actually, do you know what? Let's just sprint this one out, or let's do my own tempo and make sure that Biniam Girmay gets to the intermediate sprint. That was a brain dead idea attacking. It was like he did his attack and he looked behind and he went, I do have a sprinter. I do have a sprinter in the team. So immediately when he looked behind, I was like, okay, Intermarché are going to lock this down.
Yeah.
And they did. But once again, Simone Consoni overrules the Intermarché lead out. They do a full-on lead out for Biniam Girmay. Simone Consoni goes, thank you very much. Pootles around the little Trek lead out riders, which was Rex, I believe, and Bright. And then Milan gets a lead out. Girmay sprints on the right. Milan sprints on the left. And a certain Dutchman by the name of Mathieu Van Der Poel gets himself involved in the intermediate sprint. Picks up some points. He was third. Biniam Girmay was second. Jonathan Milan was first. Once again proving that I think Jonathan Milan is the best sprinter that's going for the green jersey. Because Tim Merlier clearly isn't.
He does not care.
But do you think this is right that Van Der Poel should be going for green jersey? I think it's well within his capability.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants the green jersey, I'm pretty sure he can take it, honestly. There are still plenty of stages he can, at least get like a top 3 placement on. Even, I mean, the stage in Paris, if he makes it to there, then that looks pretty decent for him as well. So, honestly, if he keeps out of trouble and if he goes for it, I don't see actually anyone who can stop him much, because we like a couple of flat stages for that, I feel like.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be enough flat stages on the route. I mean, Milan would have to go on a tear, I think.
Yes.
And I don't see it happening with Tim Merlier in this peloton. The longer he's in the race, the more annoying it will get for Milan, I'm sure.
Exactly.
But the 22-kilometre point that the intermediate sprint was at was Girmay and Milan's finish line, and seemingly everybody else's start line, because the race restarted and initially 2 riders went off the front. Now, I'm only saying this because of the 2 riders in question, and it was an incredibly tough breakaway battle. So in the grand scheme of things, it didn't really matter because they got reeled in. But the first 2 riders to attack were Ben Healy of EF Education Easy Post and Quinn Simmons of Little Trek. Keep those names in mind. Because it was on all day. Healy and Simmons found themselves in a breakaway. Simmons went over the top of the first climb, seemingly unopposed. And I thought, okay, Simmons is going for KOM. Then they were reeled back in by UAE. And over the second climb, Tim Wellens took it. So Pogacar has officially conceded the King of the Mountains jersey on the road at this point. So Wellens moves into the KOM. And then the attacks start again. Loads of riders trying to get in the move.
Yes.
And a breakaway eventually forms. And it starts being given time at about 100 kilometres into the stage. So we're halfway through the stage and a breakaway finally gets the chance. And it's a breakaway of 8 riders. and there are some big names in it. Will Barter is by no means a mug, but he's probably the least well-known in this breakaway for Movistar. There are other names as well, though. Eddie Dunbar, Ben Healy, Quinn Simmons from the first breakaway of the day. They've been on it from the gun. And Harold Tejada, and finally Michael Storer, and Simon Yates as well. I forgot the Giro d'Italia winner was in the breakaway.
Exactly.
Yeah, so just a casual breakaway with the Giro winner, 3-time Paris-Roubaix winner, just the usual stuff, really.
Just the usual.
But that meant you had quite a lot of different people in the break with quite a lot of different goals, because Mathieu Van Der Poel finds himself in a break. And at that point, I thought UAE Team Emirates are not going to give him any time. And the gap dangled at about 2 to 3 minutes for a long part of the stage. And I thought, Pogacar's kind of seen how the race has gone with all of the breakaway riders chasing each other down.
Yep.
And has just gone, okay, well, you've kind of put me in the position to win a stage here, so I might as well do it.
Yeah.
But what we saw a lot of, and Visma did get one guy up there, but we saw Visma getting very jumpy in the breakaway formation stage. Because Wout Van Aert went, was reeled back in.
True.
Vincent Companarts was reeled back in.
Yep.
Matteo Jorgensen even tried an attack.
Cheeky.
And Tadej Pogacar followed it. And it was like, ooh. It's the first we've seen of some chaos being caused by Visma.
He's got his eyes on Jorgensen. I've been telling you this entire time, man, that man's going to be an acid. And already he's playing his cards.
So that was clearly telling. Either way, Nils Pollitt went to the front, held the gap really low, and Eddie Dunbar actually attacked across to the group. He was the last man to get in there. Then so many other riders tried. Bergadeau, Foss, Guillaume Martin, Kevin Vortelan at a point tried to get across. He was the best placed GC guy that went for it. None of them managed it, apart from Eddie Dunbar, who just about caught the train before it left the station. And
man, it was
had an elite group. It was so elite.
And it was just tiring to watch, honestly. Like, the amount of kilometers they were just pacing the peloton, I was like, man, give these guys a break. I felt tired just watching it.
And Pollock was just holding it at will, seemingly. And then he just kind of went, go on then, fine.
Yeah. You heard on the radio, he said, like, I'm done for the day.
Yeah. Deserved as well. Real.
Mm-hmm.
Over the top of the climbs, though, it was nobody really took a big interest from the break. Eddie Dunbar kind of attacked over the top of a couple, and then Michael Storer took a vague interest, but none of them were really interested in the KOMs, which meant they were all going for the stage win, or so we thought.
Ooh.
That was when Ben Healy attacked with 40 kilometres to go.
Mm-hmm.
And instantly, I was watching this and I thought, this is a classic Ben Healy move that's not going to work. Sometimes he does these moves and it is tactical genius. Most of the time he does these moves and it doesn't work. But off he goes.
Really good, sometimes machine.
Yeah. Sometimes maybe good. Gennaro Gattuso meme.
Yeah.
Off goes Healy and nobody responds. And initially I thought, good idea. Well done the rest of the breakaway. But if you do give Ben Healy a couple of inches, there are occasions where he takes a mile. And to spoil it, he took more than a mile.
Yes.
Off he went, never ended up getting caught.
Yep.
Immediately got the gap up to about a minute, then held it there, and you thought, okay, they're going to gradually bring him back. They seem to be cooperating well together. Then Quinn Simmons attacked Michael Storer, attacked across to Simmons, and suddenly the gap went out. Not only to the rest of the breakaway, but to Simmons and Storer. It was an incredible ride from Ben Healy.
It was crazy, man. You have two guys riding you behind you, and you just keep increasing. How demotivating must that be for the two guys chasing, though? They hear it in the ear. I would assume they have to tell them the times. I would assume to a degree, the team. And you just hear you're going all out to catch this man, and you're like, He's 10 more seconds. He's gotten 10 more seconds. Like, oh, okay, cool. No, I'll just go above my watts then. Sure.
Yeah, there's one Grand Tour stage where Ben Healy's done it before. This was his second Grand Tour stage win. The first time he did it was at the Giro in 2023. And a certain Tadej Van Garderen was in the car for EF, masterminding this performance. And he basically said, I did nothing tactically. He just went. And he kind of knew that he... whatever he told Ben Healy he wouldn't do, because he's kind of a rider that races on instinct.
Right.
So basically all he was saying was, there's a corner coming up, it's a right-hander. He was basically just giving him all of the directions that he needed to get to the line.
Right.
And no tactical information, because he knew Healy was just like a guy that rides on instinct. And this was the perfect example of that, I think. Going with, quite frankly, a stupid amount of kilometers to go. And everybody I was speaking to was like, he's gone way too early here.
Yeah.
But he did say in the post-race interview he'd be watching more racing and understanding racecraft a bit more. Okay. So we might be seeing a dangerous Ben Healy for the rest of this tour, especially if he's in this kind of form.
Yeah, interesting. It's also, I would assume, since one of the reasons Van Der Poel was completely done at the finish line was he was trying to pace it as well, maybe a little bit harder than some of the other riders, because he was, of course, going for yellow at that point. So even though Van Der Poel clearly was taking a pole, great fun, I know. Healy still just went faster. That's insane.
Well, if in the case of Barta and Tejada to an extent, Dunbar as well probably, they were probably sitting on Mathieu Van Der Poel, not only because he was likelihood favourite for the stage with it being a hill finish, but also because he was probably thinking about the yellow jersey and making sure that the breakaway went the distance. Yeah. Because it's still kind of hung in the balance. And initially I was like, oh, this is going to be nice and easy for Van Der Poel. It's hovering at over 6 minutes. He's gonna get the yellow jersey fairly simply here. But there were late attacks. Either way, we'll do the results of the breakaway to begin with. Healy wins the stage. Quinn Simmons second, which is actually a good ride. I thought Storer was going to finish second because he was the better climber. But Simmons does really well. Best Grand Tour result for the top three at a Tour de France. Dunbar fourth for Jaco Alula, with Simon Yates fifth, Will Barter good ride in sixth, Tejada seventh, and actually Van Der Poel finishing eighth of the 8 breakaway riders. I'm not sure whether you'd have had that certainly when the breakaway went.
Nope.
And then on to GC, because UAE Team Emirates started ramping up the tempo just before the Côte de Vaudreuil final climb.
Indeed, they did. We didn't see much of the breakaway itself. It was the peloton itself. It was pretty much all on the breakaway. So I'm not sure when or how much they initially.
I mean, the most of the pacing was done by the breakaway riders wanting to get in the moves. I think you saw a lot of decathlon guys at the start trying to chase moves down to make sure they got a guy in there, and Arkea were doing the same to an extent. Either way, both of them missed it. But the breakaway battle, I think, did most of the pacing for UAE. They didn't try and attack at all, apart from Pogacar following Jorgensen. Yeah. So I think that played into their hands, and I think it played into Soudal Quickstep's hands because they didn't do too many attacks either. But yeah, UAE started ramping up the tempo after Pollitt and I think Sivakov dropped. So they started pushing hard, and although we didn't see much of it because Ben Healy was at the front taking the win by miles, what we saw was the gap start to tumble. And somebody who didn't take a tumble but did have a mechanical, another bad day for Denmark, Matthias Skjelmose.
Was he not my pick for this stage? Or was he not? Wait.
He might have been.
It might have been someone else, remember. I think I watched it right before. Yeah. I mean, the stage win wasn't in reach anyway, so I guess it's not a huge loss, but he was somewhere in the GC, but at the end of the day, he wouldn't, wouldn't really be competitive for the top GC spots regardless, I don't think.
Yeah, he took Thibaut Nace's bike and ended up finishing just behind the group of the rest of the GC guys. It was actually quite a nice recovery ride, but still lost 35 seconds to the majority of the GC group, and then even more to some of the more elite GC guys. So that was Skjelmose's day over.
Yep.
But I was expecting to see a Pogacar attack based on the way UAE were pacing.
Same.
Didn't really come, did it?
No, and there's a sneaky suspicion, considering the gap to the yellow jersey is 1 second. This man knew to a degree. I don't know if he was looking at the timer, I don't know, but clearly he had more in the tank than the attack he did. Like, he went to the finish line and he did not really look tired.
Yeah, I mean, there was a brief attempt from Jorgensen, but that was shut down quite comfortably by Pogacar. Again, it's kind of another him stamping his authority on the race. Jonas was in the wheel, but again, I don't think it was as vicious of an attack as the stage 2 one.
No, it definitely didn't look like it. He looked quite calm doing it, and also afterwards, Vingegaard didn't look like completely out of breath either. So I think it was sort of just a demonstration once again that he's the guy to beat.
So yeah, Van Der Poel crossed the line 8th, 3:58 down, which meant 5 minutes 26 was what he needed to be level on time with Pogacar. And what do you know? Pogacar crosses the line and the time stops at 5 minutes 27. Van Der Poel goes into yellow by a second, Lucas.
By a second, of course. I think it's a tidy masterclass, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, if he has done this deliberately, that is incredible work.
It is, man.
I don't really think he has.
No.
But if he has,
it's nice to think. I'm gonna just believe he has.
Yeah. Let's just willfully believe. But that means Van Der Poel jumps back up 5 positions, and somebody had Van Der Poel in yellow at the end of the after the TT. I don't think I'm gonna claim this as a. I might claim this as a half point for the bingo card.
That's fair.
So yeah, I technically said holds it after the TT, indicating he keeps it on his shoulders. But I think getting it back gives me half a point.
Yeah.
Personally. Not biased or anything.
No.
But no, Van Der Poel moves into GC lead. Apart from that, everything stays the same, really, amongst the top GC riders. Jonas finished just behind Tadej, Jorgensen behind Jonas, Remco behind Jorgensen, and Onley and Vauquelin are in and around the same time. Somebody who did lose 5 seconds, Primož Roglic, Henrik Mas, Tobias Harland Johannesson, Buitrago, and Joao Almeida, among others. Carlos Rodriguez again loses more time. He was 5 minutes 43 compared to 5:27 for the main GC guys. So Carlos Rodriguez is struggling really on these hill stages.
Very much, quite far down at this point.
But that means that Van Der Poel catapults up the points jersey with the points that he gets at the finish. Interestingly, Pogacar after the time trial says he shouldn't have been given any points in the green jersey for the time trial. I'm not sure whether I agree with that, because at the end of the day, a stage is a stage. By that regard, you shouldn't give points on mountain stages.
True.
But Van Der Poel has moved himself within 4 points now of Jonathan Milan, who is the new leader. And actually, this green jersey battle is getting very, very spicy indeed. We've got 4 guys within 10 points.
Milan 112, Van Der Poel 108, Tadej 2 behind on 106, and Gurmai 4 behind on 102. There are 10 points separating the first and fourth place. It's getting spicy.
And nobody in the mountains jersey has got to 10 points yet. Somebody who's got 7 is Tim Wellens, who takes the mountains jersey, although didn't wear it on today's stage, despite being second in King of the Mountains and Pogacar having the yellow jersey, because you can pick whether you wear the leader's jersey of mountain or points, or you wear the national champions kit. So Jonas Vingegaard was actually wearing the polka dot jersey, even though he technically shouldn't have been. So we'll see if Wellens actually is forced to wear the King of the Mountains jersey. I think he is, now that he's leading for good.
Right, probably.
But it means that I am starting to get a little bit skeptical of his comment a couple of stages ago where he was like, oh, I really like the King of the Mountains jersey. So I thought I'd go for it. That made me think, yeah, sure. Okay,
sure, mate,
okay,
sure.
buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, you say so.
And youth classification stays the same, but a big jumper in the general classification, other than Van Der Poel. Ben Healy moves up to 8th position, 2 minutes and 1 second behind Van Der Poel. Lipovitz 9th on 2:32. Roglic 10th. Goes below his teammates in GC on 2 minutes 36, with Skjelmoser dropping out the top 10 as well.
Yikes.
It's not been a big day for GC, and I don't think we can read too much into it. But I'm glad to see Van Der Poel back in yellow, personally.
Same. Suits him.
Suits him, and to be honest, Pogacar will get the chance to wear it much later in this tour.
Likelihood being. He'll get it back, don't worry.
So, yeah, that's about it. First of all, what is your time trial score?
My
out
time
of 10.
It's very difficult. I'm thinking more like a 9, but like a minus in front. So -9 roughly, I think sounds about right. Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's going to tank the averages across this tour.
No.
I'm going to go like a 6. There were some like standout performances like Vauquelin, but the Remco time was rarely ever in doubt, and Vingegaard being not necessarily out of contention, but a big plus for Pogacar that he took so much time.
Yeah.
Kind of puts the GC a bit in jeopardy. So what's your rating then for the stage afterwards? Stage 6?
Breakover was nice. It was, a nice change of pace to see, not just the big man in front. I mean, with the solo breakover as well. I think it lacks a little bit of GC, but that would to be expected, I guess, considering how the stage went. And just like a good 7.5, 8, roughly.
Yeah, I think that's about right. I'd go 7.5, just because Ben Healy broke away with 40 kilometers to go.
Yeah,
and somehow had the stage won with 20 kilometers to go.
Yeah.
So I think the battle for the stage wasn't really that interesting once Healy set off.
No.
But the actual breakaway battle, it's one of those where the highlights will make it look terrible.
Yeah.
But the actual stage itself from start to finish was a banger.
It was.
Especially breakaway formation. I love an elite break. A breakaway formation when it's good is insane. A breakaway formation when it's terrible might be the worst thing in cycling. But it's better than no breakaway, which is even worse.
Yep.
The stage win for Healy being fairly obvious probably knocks it down a couple. Van Der Poel being in yellow brings it up slightly, I guess.
Yeah.
But there wasn't much GC battle. I'd have preferred a little more, Pogacar maybe trying a dig on the final categorized climb.
Trying a little something, I guess, would have been preferred.
But it looked like he wanted to give the jersey away in the end, eventually.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he could have kept it. If he wanted to, he could have kept it. That's all we need.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, up next, stage 7. And it's Mur de Bretagne time.
Ooh, about damn time, man. 3
categorized climbs right at the end. 1 category 4, and then 2 ascents of the Mur de Bretagne, 2 kilometers, about 7% average. And who do you see it going to? I don't even remember who I picked on the pod.
I do not remember either, man. Well, I'm not seeing any Visma guys making it here. Because clearly Jürgensen doesn't have the ability to drop Tadej on the Mur de Bretagne. And if he were to attack, Tadej would clearly follow him. Would Jonas try something though at this point, just to respond back after the time trial? I feel like he almost has to, even just like a mental win. But would he have the legs to do it?
I think if he'd have tried something, it would have been today rather than tomorrow.
I was hoping for him to do something today, but yeah.
Because, the final climb peaked at like 14% right at the end. And I thought, this, even if he just finishes in front of Pogacar, even if it's on the same time, it's like a moral victory for him for being back in the race. And I thought, today would have been a better chance than tomorrow, definitely, because the Mur de Bretaigne's percentages actually aren't that steep. It's a bit of a mythical climb, but
it is.
In the grand scheme of things, the percentages aren't great. Like, it's not Col de la Loz. Let's say that.
Yeah.
I think I went Thibaut Nace, which is a terrible decision because he's been so bad throughout this tour.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm once again hoping for a Skjelmos to win. I might have said Skjelmos here, honestly. If he can, stay out of the way on mechanicals and stuff, I feel like it could still be a decent shot. He's a very good hill rider, especially on these kind of punchy finishes. So if I go with my heart, I'm saying Skjelmos for the win.
All right. If I am going with my heart, I would go Thibaut Nace for the sake of hoping he wins for the pre-podcast pick.
Oh yeah.
If I'm going with my head, Van der Poel might be a bit cooked. Do you reckon he might have cooked himself being in the breakaway today, because it was not an easy breakaway to be in?
Yeah, I reckon he's not finishing this in the top 5. I don't think, honestly. I think he's cooked his legs a little bit too much here trying to get the yellow jersey. The problem is if Tadej wins it, he takes it back. So I think he'll try. But he's not surviving the attack. If Tadej does attack, he's not surviving it.
Is there a scenario, because Pogacar didn't want to be in the jersey, seemingly?
Yeah.
Is there a scenario where it's another breakaway day and Pogacar just doesn't want to, because you've just brought up that if Pogacar takes bonus seconds on Van der Poel, he's back in the jersey.
Yeah.
And it felt like today he wanted to give it away, but I feel like he wanted to give the jerseys away more. I don't know with the guy way this guy races.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's not a stage win, and he likes stage wins. He likes winning stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I'm almost assuming he would try, but at the same time, I could also see him just letting breakaway go. In that case, I don't know who would win. But I guess it depends on who gets in the breakaway at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's the most Will Buxton comment I've heard from you on this podcast. Yep. If you're in the breakaway might win, depending on who's in the breakaway.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, so my heart says Thibaut Nace, my head says Pogacar, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm probably Pogacar as well, but let's see what happens, Let's see what happens.
And that is about where we call it. 2 stages in 1 episode, but it will be back to the usual 1 stage, 1 episode, I'm sure.
We forgot about the fantasy team.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Let's look at that. Let's look at how terrible it's going. I'm going to just get mine out the way real quick. We have the time trial. As you saw in the previous podcast, I changed the team. We got Vingegaard as a stage bonus winner. And I also took out, who did I take out? Who did well in the time trial again?
Castrillo.
Yeah, Castrillo, because he had given me no points so far. You saw me complaining about it. And for the first time ever, he gets points 2 stages in a row, mind you. And he's done nothing all tour, so that's great. Great start. Not getting any great points out of the time trial stage, and neither the today's stage. Jonas still getting some points, I guess, mostly just for the GEC and for finishing, was it 9th, 10th today? Apart from that, Milan only a couple as well, and Lipwich still a bit as well. So for me, it's not really fun to look at, honestly.
For me, it was a slightly better day on the time trial, captaining Remco Evenepoel for the double points. Thank you very much, 473 for him. Milan being in green jersey contention is going to give him a nice flow of points, so he got 26. Martinez being in KOM jersey contention got him 20, and then a couple of minor points from my other riders. Yeah. That meant I got 527 on the time trial, which is not bad, but not fantastic. And then it was back to normal form on today's stage. Evenepoel captain again. Jonathan Milan taking points is nice, 64. But yeah, Martinez 13, Bittner and Van Aert 4, De Lee 4, Schroens 4, Velasco 12.
Yeah.
For a grand total of 263, which is pretty terrible.
Oh, I beat it. I got 405. How did I get that? Well, I guess I have Only and Lipwich giving me some points. But beat by 200 almost, damn. Let's go. But I said it, well, I don't know if I said it, but I'm sticking with my Jonas Vingegaard pick all the way to Paris. Not changing him out. If he dies, he dies, okay? Even if he dies, I'm not changing him on my team. He stays.
I'm going to do, I think, a live podcast change for my fantasy team.
Interesting.
Out goes Lennart Van Aert.
Okay.
In...
Yeah.
As I'm reading what my options are. I mean, I've got 13 stars to play with. 13. It's not crazy. God, it feels so dull to go Guillaume Martin, but I actually might. Or do I save some stars and go for somebody who might be of more use? I actually think I might go Guillaume Martin because he's the type of guy to just ride a top 10 and just do next to nothing. I'll update you in the next podcast.
All right.
But I'm getting rid of Lennart Van Aert. I've had enough.
Enough.
I'm finally changing.
He's gotten 3.00014. Oh no.
Yeah. Embarrassing performance from him.
It really is.
Yep. I don't want to see him in my team again, personally.
Oh, valid.
Either way, that wraps up the Wheelie Good Podcast stages 5 and 6.
Yep.
Again, it'll be back to one stage per episode, unless one of us is away, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
And back to the usual later on. So have a great rest of your day whenever you're listening to this.
Indeed.
I don't even know what the traditional outro is still for this. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, there's none. It's just an awkwardness. Slowly ensuing and rolling up. And subscribe and like and follow.
Give us 5 stars.
5 stars Spotify. Only 6 done it yet. I've seen more listen to us, but 5 star. Okay, that was it.